Hello, everybody. Welcome to PodC Ts, where we are talking to a guy that built a robot in 3 days.
That's me. I'm Reis Simpson. I was one of the team members on Cranberry Alarm RA3D. We did that back in Indiana at a Red Alert shop, and we built a robot in 3 days.
And we're also here with our lead of mechanical.
Hello, my name's Chauncey. I'm a senior.
So, Reis, tell us about yourself.
My name's Reis Simpson. I grew up in Indiana. My first time I was in FRC was in 2015, and I was on Red Alert Robotics 1741, and I ended up being on that team for 4 years. It's my senior year. Graduated, and then after that I helped start Team 7457, Super Duper Robotics. Was there for another 4 years until I moved down to Florida and ended up here at 108, which is the best team here in Florida.
So, Reis, would you mind us asking some questions?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So, what's your favorite part of being on the team?
The R3D team or 108?
Either one.
108, definitely being around all the students. I mean, I feel like last year was really great to see all the motivation between all the students and just kind of seeing everyone's enthusiasm. So, seeing all the passion everyone brings. So, that's definitely my favorite part. With the RA3D, it's a bit stressful at times, but I think the favorite part is the impact that we make, and kind of just showing everyone around the first community like what we can do.
What are some challenges that you face during your time during school?
As in like college and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely balancing for me when I was a mentor, balancing the mentor life and the college life was a bit of a struggle. But it worked out okay. And then also just kind of managing, everything else going on at the time. I was also a junior when COVID hit. So that was a little bit of a different time, especially with FRC at that time. So I think for me, the biggest challenge for me was how much stuff changed throughout my 4 years at college.
So, for the people that want to get into engineering, what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, it's, everyone can be an engineer. Biggest thing is just ask questions. Really start looking at things and just ask yourself how it works and try and do your best to understand how different mechanisms, like when you're walking around, and you see something that's intriguing to you, just look at it, analyze it, and try and, really figure out how it exactly works. And, have an open mind to everything and just think critically.
As everybody would know, you're our mentor. What is something that you learned from your mentor that have changed your life?
Oh yeah, I definitely think my entire life has kind of been set on a course guided by my mentors that I had in high school. I wouldn't be where I am today without their guidance. They kind of set me off on a really good course, and I think the biggest things I've kind of learned from them is don't lose hope. Keep powering forward, think critically, and just kind of keep grinding and keep going at it. I think that's
So, could you tell us a bit about your design process?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I kind of think the first thing I kind of go when I kind of think about solving a problem, especially a problem that I haven't really seen before. When it's a problem that I've seen before, I kind of look back on what I've done to solve that problem that I'm facing. When it's a problem that I haven't faced before, sometimes I'll think of my own solution first, and then after that, if I'm not happy with it, I'll start looking at what have other people done in past to solve a similar problem. And then I'll collect a bunch of different sources, then I'll compare them, and then from there I'll kind of come up with something that I really like, and I'll move forward with that. And then when it comes to actual engineering and the in-depth of it, a lot of stuff that I do is entirely in 2D sketches in CAD. I'll sketch out the entire robot in a 2D sketch, and then from there I'll map out everything so I know that everything's going to work really well. Then I can go into 3D CAD, and then from there on, a bunch of testing and iterating. And to start all of that, there's a bunch of prototyping in there to kind of, test all those original ideas and really see, most of all, not what does work, but what doesn't work. And yeah.
Okay. For everybody that doesn't know, mentors are not getting paid to be here. What is your why and why you're here, and you give up your time?
Yeah. I think for me, going through high school, first really means a lot to me, just because, when I was in the program in high school, I wasn't too involved my freshman year, and then I started to pick up my sophomore year, and then by my senior year, it was, a full-time thing for me. I was spending a lot of time outside of school there, and for me, it really taught me a lot with engineering. And it, for a lot of people, like when people go play, for example, like football at their high school, they'll train constantly, and then there's going to be only 1% of all high school students go pro. And what I think is really, really cool about robotics is the proportional amount of people that, that do FRC or in engineering, how many of them go pro. A large portion of people will go on to, work, in a job in engineering and help change the world. And for me, it's really given me the tools that I need to help succeed. And I feel like a lot of the success that I've had in my life and where I've been, I owe to FRC. And so for me, I want to stay involved in this program because I think it's really important for developing a lot of youth and, helping give, all the students, the tools they need, because it's what gave me the tools I need. So, I want to help give back to this program and, give back as much as I can.
So, as the years have been, we know you're our mentor of scouting. So what are tips for those who are new to scouting?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Strategy is always very, very interesting because it's a little bit more interpretive than it is, concrete every year. This year is very interesting. This is a very, very cool game where a lot of the different aim elements all have a really big impact. So if you're getting into scouting, just really try and, jot down as much as you can about all the points. And strategy, I guess that's for strategy. For scouting, that's kind of a different problem, when you get to a competition and, evaluating teams. But for strategy wise, when you're kind of like evaluating the game, I would say it's most important just kind of jot everything down and kind of just evaluate where you think the most points will lie and where do you think the easiest challenge would be to get the most points. And then when it comes to scouting, in competition and figuring out your alliance selection and stuff like that, just collecting all the data points that you need, and then from there, finding a good way to collect all those data points, and then once again, evaluating what alliance partners you think would be really good with your team to help you guys, get the maximum potential.
What are your top 5 goals before you feel like you're ready to leave?
This world?
No, FRC.
Or at least our team or something.
Okay. So, I really feel like FRC is kind of one of those things that, like, I maybe, I'm going to be that 80-year-old old head, still, like back in my day, I think that'll definitely be me. So I think I'll just because I really believe in the purpose and the goal of this program and, the impact that it has. So I guess, top 5 goals, I just making an impact, on my community and here with you guys, just trying to make an impact and, being an inspiration to, everyone in our community. I think is just really, really important. I can't hard time to jotting down 5 specific goals. I guess this is like all of my goals kind of stem from that one thing, just making an impact, inspiring as much as I can.
This is a little less serious, but did you even sleep for the 3 days you were building that robot?
Rarely. I think we for the 72 hours we were there, I think I got 13 hours of sleep. So it wasn't too little, but I did get some sleep. There were some days where I was running on E, but it was tough, but it was a good time.
Anything else you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I guess just a little message to other teams and anyone else out there. Just keep an open mind this year. Have fun. And learn as much as you can. Do you guys mind if I ask you guys some questions?
Go ahead.
So what are you most looking forward to this year?
This year, I'm mostly looking forward to coding this year's robot and getting more involved into software and growing my abilities and seeing if I can grow and become more into seeing how I can program this robot and how I can make it do anything that I choose my mind to. And I just really want to make my knowledge more expandable
That's great. Love that. Chauncey?
I want to feel like I gave my all, and I don't want to. I'm a senior and I'm graduating. I just don't want to end off my FRC student life feeling like I didn't give my all into what I.
100%. You don't want to look back and wish you could have done
Have
more.
regrets.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you guys for listening and tuning in. This is PodC Ts, and PodC Ts out.
Ciao.